but it is time for us to start speaking about Selenium WebDriver. This is our topic. Let me share my screen and I will open our presentation. Okay, this is our topic for today. So, and
please minimize us.
Okay, 1 second. Okay. Now we need to speak about Selenium WebDriver. So what is this? A tool for test automation. And we use it for automating web applications and get the results. How it is, whether it is working as expected, right? So, but basically, it is a set of API developed for automation the web application. So it is the API that connects you to the browser, and it can simulate pretty much all the actions that a user normally would do. And it would test all the clicks, keyboard pushes, and so on. So Selenium is an open source, free test automation tool. And you probably know and heard already that it first originated, right, in the company named ThoughtWorks, and the author of it is considered Jason Huggins. So it started in 2004, and the first tool that he came up with is called Selenium IDE. It is the browser add-on that was used for recording and playback of your script. And it was also possible to add some coding in different programming languages: C, Java, Python, JavaScript, Perl, so different languages. Since 2004, it was open source, right? And it developed a lot. And in 2007, another employee of the company ThoughtWorks, Simon Stewart, developed another testing tool called WebDriver. And in 2011, both projects were merged together to form one web testing tool known since then as Selenium 2.0, the combination of Selenium and WebDriver. You should also remember that there is one more part of Selenium, which is called Selenium Grid, which is used for distributed testing. Okay, so how it is working? So you also need to remember that WebDriver architecture is made up of those components: Selenium client library, the JSON protocol, wire protocol that supports the communication, specific browser drivers, and real browsers. So you know that different programming languages, they have their own limitations. Therefore, developers, they have built Selenium client libraries, those language bindings to support multiple languages.
Galina, quick question. I'm sorry. Can you
Yes.
later tell us or tell me what is the browser drivers? Maybe later when you...
Yeah, I will. So first, we are speaking about the limitations, right? Depending on the using of specific language. So if we are using Java, then we use Java bindings. So, and communication protocol, right, is JSON wire protocol, which is REST API that transfers the information between HTTP servers. So, and now we come to the browser driver. Browser driver acts like an assistant to the real browser. When any browser driver receives a command, it will execute it on a respective browser and send back the HTTP response. So you see that drivers are specific to each browser used for a secure connection. So, for example, we write some script, and Selenium creates an HTTP request for each command, each Selenium command, and sends it through wire protocol to specific browser driver. Browser driver is receiving HTTP request and sends it to the real browser. Real browser receives the request from the browser driver, operate on the application elements, click, provide some input according to the request, and responds to it browser driver with operator output. So then we get whether we successfully passed our test or it failed. So it goes back through the same channel. Okay, your question, Michael, is about the browser driver. What is that, right?
Exactly.
So it is kind of a headless browser, or it can be, so you see, 1 second, let me
I mean, technically, what is a driver? It's a script, it's a program, it's a what?
It is an executable binary file.
For which
so
operating
in
system?
our 1 second, in our project here, I will show you. It is we don't have it. Instead, we have our WerbDriver manager, right? That will set up our browser driver depending on our.
What is a Chrome driver here?
It is an executable for Chrome browser. We also have executable for Firefox and Safari and Edge. So guys, we are lucky now that we don't have to manually update this browser. Let me show you another project that I kept just to demonstrate you guys that previously 2 years ago we had the same project but with a different test context configuration. And here you see we have this master branch, right? SRC, test, resources, and here we have the features and drivers folder. And in drivers we have several options. It is still not obvious, but let me then show you. I will quickly add it. 1 second. So I will open this project. Okay, test. Doing the same way. Okay, I will add it and clone. Okay, then okay, I will do it one more time. File, new project from version control, and paste. And I will open it in a new window. Let's wait for a couple of seconds. Here we go. And here you see in test folder, in resources, we have not only features. In features, we have the same predefined, right? But also the drivers, where we have several executable files, binary files. This is Chrome driver for Mac. This is Chrome driver for Windows. This is Gecko driver for opening our tests in Firefox for Mac and for Windows. So you can download the Chrome driver from the cloud, right? From this website, and you can select the Chrome driver from here, depending on the browser version that you have. So if I check my current browser version, it will be 93.0.4, right? And the problem is that those browsers are automatically updated, right? And then you have to update your browser driver version in this folder. You can delete it, download it, and update your project. Does it make sense? So this Chrome driver is again another program, right? That is working as a component, as an intermediary between Selenium and real browser. And if this browser version is not in conformity with the browser that is installed on your computer, your tests will fail. So in our project now, you don't have to care about that. 1 second.
Galina, does this driver should be done by us or it should be done by Google?
Oh,
or...
in the previous version, I'm showing you that 2 years ago, we had to do it manually.
What about other browsers?
Other browsers as well. So you can have Chrome, you see Gecko for Firefox, Edge. You can go to those browsers and download the drivers for them.
So you download the drivers for Selenium or for what?
You download Chrome driver, Edge driver, Gecko driver, whatever you need for your tests. The ones that you have. The ones that you want to run against, right? Here we had only 2. Our program, okay, our 1 second. Our project, right, has the settings that are done by WerbDriver Manager, and they are automatically provided for us by Maven, right, depending on the configuration of our test context. So we have Chrome, Firefox, Safari, Edge, and IE. Okay?
I'm not really understand. I don't know how about other guys. Maven, if I'm not mistaken, it's Apache software, which is kind of server, right? So when you say that there's a driver, I mean, does this driver, each company which do the browser, they support, you know, the developers with their own driver, or they support the...
I don't know who is responsible, the company who is developing the browser, or Selenium, I don't know, and I don't care about that. I mean, but I know that you have to provide your
so where can you get this stuff?
With the executable, and that can be done either like that I showed to you, with the separate folder where you keep the actual executable files, or you can include your WerbDriver manager, right? And that will be done without you to actually manually delete and add some new executable file.
Галин, я просто спрашиваю, а куда нужно идти за этими драйверами для всех браузеров, чтобы они у нас потом работали?
I showed you. This is the, you will go to Google, right? And you type Chrome driver download, or Edge driver download, Safari driver download, and you will be there. Okay?
Praise Google.
Don't. So I explained to you guys, and moreover that at this point you don't have to do this. You are working with the project, right, that has been created for you. And even in the real workplace, the configuration of your project will be taken care of by the senior test automation engineer. You will have to reuse it. That's it. Once you are ready, then you definitely will create your own project. So far, you just need to understand that there is the browser, real browser, and the Selenium browser driver, and each browser driver is specific and corresponding to the real browser. Okay? Okay?
Yes, clear, absolutely.
Okay.
All right. Then we will go. We'll move on. So this is our framework structure. We already know it, and now we already discussed, so we can have a lot of browser drivers, right? And also we may have some virtual browsers, right? For Android and iOS, for tablet and phone. You can either use emulator and drive it on the emulator Android or simulator iOS. And HTML unit is not an actual browser, but it emulates the browser. Doesn't open up on the screen. It is not connected to any device. It is just a set of functions that emulates the browser. It is called headless. So you run the test, you get the results pass or fail, but it is definitely much faster, but it does not substitute your testing, GUI testing. So if you need to run a quick test, you probably will go with headless. But in most cases, you want something like a real Chrome driver or some other driver. Okay? All right. Any questions about the structure of our test context? All right. Then we will move on. And
Galina, I apologize. As I understand, the main thing that we need to understand that Selenium is WebDriver is a middleman between our real driver, right? So all communications we are making is to Selenium, and Selenium then communicate to our browser.
Absolutely.
So all magic is inside of this Selenium WebDriver.
So it is connected with your script, right?
Yeah.
The script from Selenium goes through as an API, right? Through HTTP to your browser driver first, and then it sends an HTTP request to the real browser. That's it.
And our Selenium WebDriver is number 3 here on this page. So browser driver, it means Selenium driver, correct?
Browser driver is here, right? And I showed you where it is located in our test context. Again, here, when we initialize it. And it has certain options, right? Specific to Chrome or Firefox or Safari. And here we initialize it, right? We can change the word Chrome for Firefox, and then the Firefox will be working instead of it. But since we're learning, right, and when we are writing our test cases, we definitely will be working with Chrome. So you cannot run simultaneously, right, on all the browsers. You can do your testing changing the settings one by one. If you want to do it simultaneously, you definitely will use Selenium Grid. But again, it is out of scope. We need to learn just the basics during this project. Okay, and you see we have very important method here, WebDriver getDriver, which returns our driver. So we do not use, we do not access, right, the variable directly. We use getter method. So instead of driver get, we use the method getDriver. So in Java, getter and setter are two methods that are used for retrieving and updating the value of a variable. So by using those methods, getter and setter, we can have more control over those important variables. They can be updated in a correct manner. So and you see that it is always we provide that the variable will be private, right? And the method will be public. So that it will be difficult to change the value of the variable within some specific range. Okay, so we use getDriver method. Please mind the camel case, right, for using methods, and all the variables, they always in Java start with lowercase letter. So if a method starts with get, it is a read-only method, and it will return some value back. And in our case, we will be working with different get methods: get text, get URL, get title, get current URL. And we also have methods starting with the word is. If it is, then it is read-only method, and it will return either true or false. So you usually use them in Boolean methods and if-else statements. Examples of those will be is displayed, is enabled, is selected, is equal to. So those various methods can perform different actions. They can change values. Return value. So we have getDriver, get, and it will open the browser at some page. GetDriver manage, window maximize, switch to. So we already used some of those methods, right? And at the beginning, guys, you can use this cheat sheet as a very good resource, right? When you are not very comfortable or very experienced Selenium users. So Slava created this for us, and it really helps. So when you see at this chart, you see that it also reminds the tree directory structure. You always have to start with the command, right? GetDriver. It is number one. And then we follow this dot notation, right? Every further method has to be separated by dot. So if we want to open our browser, we will start with getDriver dot get, and inside the parentheses we will put the URL that we want to get to, right? Same for get title, get current URL. So if we want to, for example, to accept or dismiss, right, alert window, we have to go longer path. GetDriver, switch to, alert, and then accept or dismiss. So GetDriver dot switch to dot alert dot accept or dismiss. Or
Galina, I have a question.
yes.
Can we combine this and whatever we did in Cucumber? Let's say we get the driver to open the page and then switch the page and then something else, and then, or like we were filling out Slava's form.
Before you were working with Slava predefined steps. Today we are going to write our own steps, and we will use those methods in our Java steps that we are going to create on our own. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, then manage, right? If we want to maximize the window, we will have to go through this path. GetDriver dot manage dot window dot maximize. Or we can set certain size. Again, GetDriver dot manage dot window dot set size, and inside those parentheses we will have to provide some dimensions. So navigate, GetDriver, navigate to, back, forward, refresh. So those methods that we are going to use today. And the most important one for us, right, will be GetDriver and find element. And find element inside those parentheses, we will have to provide our Selenium locator. It can be, what Selenium locators can it be?
Express.
Okay, it can be by. There is one more method. We can select by, and again, it can be either ID, it can be name, it can be link text, partial link text, so all Selenium locators that we have already discussed, or it can be CSS or Express. We mostly will be working with Express, right? And after that, when we provide, when we provided the locator inside those parentheses, we can either click, clear, get text, or we can send keys, right? And again, the keys or the text that we want to enter into some input field will go inside those parentheses in double quotes. Okay? Any questions?
Are these commands only for Java or the
those commands are for Selenium.
Ah, for Selenium, okay.
Yes. Those are Selenium WebDriver methods, and they are unique. Or not unique, universal.
Universal.
Universal. Okay, I think that we need to start practicing, guys. So let's create a new, 1 second. Let's create a new feature file. And we will call it WerbDriver. WerbDriver dot feature. Okay. Are you with me, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And as usual, we will start with assigning a tag at the feature level WebDriver. And then the first keyword starting with letter F, feature. And we will call it WebDriver methods. WebDriver methods. Actually, it's one word. Okay, our first scenario will be navigate, WebDriver navigate. Okay, first we need to open our page, right? Given, right? And you see, we have already a lot of different methods, right? Different steps that are defined in our scenario. And they are related with predefined steps, right? And the ones that we created for our Java step definition files. So if I try to type open, right, it will offer me the option that was predefined by Slava. Let's change the wording. We can say open or navigate, right? Let's do navigate. Even I navigate to, and we will say Google. Then we'll have to define the step. and I will create a new file, and I will call it WerbDriver. WerbDriver step definitions, and select Java and add definitions subfolder, right? So you can use either this one or add one more slash forward or backward, right?
Excuse me, Galina, could you repeat how to create this step definition new file?
When you wrote the step that is not defined yet, right?
Mm-hmm.
You click on this bulb and create a step definition. And you will create a new file. And you will select here. You will provide the name of your new file, WerbDriver.
I don't have this bulb. I don't know why.
You can click enter, and it probably will offer you some option. Do you have this highlighted?
Oh, I have button bulb, but yeah, it's highlighted. It only offers me option convert scenario to outside.
Then you already created this one. It's somewhere, it has been defined already. So you definitely need to change the wording.
Okay.
Navigate to Google page, do something that you have a new wording of this step.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so create a step definition, create a new file, and provide the name of this file, WerbDriver StepDefs.
Is it important to leave StepDefs at the end of the name?
You see, I was careless here, right? But I always can update it. So I want to follow this camel case convention that every new word starts with the capital letter.
No. My point is I just created WerbDriver, so I should create WerbDriver StepDefs, or it's not important?
So if it goes into the step definitions, you definitely have to follow some, but it is not necessary. But you definitely will know. In the workplace, you will provide some meaningful name for your feature files and your step definitions file. Okay?
Yeah, it went to definitions.
But it always has to say something like it is StepDefs.
Always. So I need to rename it inside of the folder, right?
You can rename it, yes. Refactor. Click on refactor and it will rename. Okay, definitions.
Это как культура программирования, правильно, Галина?
Yes. And I will add it as well. And here I can refactor, rename, and I will change this to capital. Click on refactor and it will be done. So when I do this through refactor, it means that all the, it will be changed, this name, right, everywhere.
Галина, can you please repeat how you refactor?
You right click on this name of this step or file, click refactor, and then you will get rename, right? And you will get the options.
Uh-huh. Thank you.
By the way, I prepared the presentation on, 1 second, what is this? Okay, this one. On shortcuts, but probably we won't have enough time for it today. We will postpone it until the next time, okay? Okay, now we need to write the code so that we can navigate to our URL. What will be our variable name?
Page.
URL.
Okay, let it be URL. Which do you prefer, guys? To be working with if-else or switch?
Switch.
Switch? Yeah. Okay, let's do switch. We type switch, give the name URL, right? And then we use some options. Okay? First case will be Google. Get driver. This is our first method that we have to use, right? Get driver. And you see, it turns red. And we have this hint, support test context get driver. We can either say test context dot get driver, right? And then it will be recognized, right? Then we can use this get. And here we'll provide the URL for Google. Again, Google. And we copy and paste it. Don't forget to use break. And we see that the package definitions and the import, and it is imported, right? From support test context. It is done automatically by Maven, right? Okay, can we run it? Let's try. We will go to our WerbDriver.feature and I will close everything else. And now it is recognized and I will run it through, and probably it won't be running because we don't have it in hooks. It is commented out, so I need to uncomment this first and I will try to run it again. And still it doesn't work. Why can it happen? We probably, after we run it through without hooks, right? We always have to go to our edit configurations and check our glue setting. You remember in the test runner here, we have the setting that it is definitions and support. Both two folders, right? They have to be connected. So we need to add this to our edit configurations. Definitions and support. I will click OK and run it one more time. And now,
could you repeat? It's too fast.
Okay, I will show
What
it.
should we put into?
Okay, so would you share your screen, Andrei?
Do we need comma? The definition
No,
support?
we don't need comma. We don't need any quotes. We don't need anything. Just definitions and support in any order.
Galina, could you show Andrei's screen about this glue? What did you put into the run debug
Okay,
configuration?
Andrei, would you share your screen?
I am trying. You should let me share my screen, I think.
Please do.
Okay.
It works.
Okay, so you uncommented hooks. Did you uncomment?
Yeah, I commented.
Maybe it's not running because something red.
Yeah, something is red. You need to go to your WerbDriver on line 10, 26. WerbDriver 10, 26.
Columns.
It should be semicolon.
Galina, could you please show with the Andrei's help once again the glue?
Yeah, I will. So put the quotes after Google. Quotes and semicolon. One second. It is still red. Sure. You have to do column, not semicolon here. Put colon, case colon, and now it is good. Okay. And it is working. So guys, who is having?
I'm also have an issue.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, I navigate to Google page PP. What is this? Did it open your page? What is this Google? You have to provide just Google, the name of your page that is going to be, okay, delete everything but Google. Delete. Google. Okay. And now navigate to the script. Open it. No. Command and, okay. Text contact the driver code. It is fine. Now we are good. Who is having problems with running the script with edit configurations?
Ilona.
Me too.
Ilona, will you be able to share? Okay, let's do it. I will stop Andrei. Okay. No network found. Did you unhook your?
Yeah.
Okay. Now click on Run on the top menu. Run. Edit configurations. And you have definitions and support. Click OK. And try to run it now. Okay, then you have some other mistakes. For example, on scenario, you have extra space between scenario and, okay, delete one. So, no. I suggest that you do not do this. Type first letter S and then autocomplete with tab key. Do always like that. Okay? So now try to run it.
That's one.
You see, guys, please, even one extra space may cause some problems that you will spend a lot of time to figure out. But you always will have to read the results. It is called error stack in your test results, and it will show you on which line of code you have the problem, in which file and what line of code.
Galina, can you have a look at my screen? I have a Java. I could not uncomment Java, hooks. I'll show you what happened with hooks in a second. So this is how hooks looks like.
You deleted the hooks?
No, I did not.
You did. Can you
Well, maybe, this, I don't know. How do I restore it?
Click on this, вот эта стрелочка, вот это, да, roll back. You can do Control-Z, so that you can do it. Control-Z.
Oh, but I didn't delete it, so Control-Z will not lead to anything.
Elena, maybe we just gonna copy ours and just.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Send it to Dmitry. Yeah.
Yeah, if you could, guys, somewhere
Yeah.
in Slack or
Slack.
Slack.
Oh, right here. Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Can we move on?
Well, if it runs, we can. Right? Just a second. Where is the screen? Now I can see it myself. Okay, so I just, okay. So it should run now, I assume. Wonderful, I think it is running.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, guys, we definitely need to add a couple of more.
Galina, can you help me? Where you add a support? Just
Share your screen, please, Tatiana.
a sec. Right here.
So, what is your problem? Method get driver in class.
I don't know where is it button for edit support for settings. Like here.
You are having a problem with the Java code. Navigate to text context switch. URL text context.
GetDriver.get. Line.
GetDriver.get.
Where?
GetDriver dot.
Get driver. I didn't see get driver.
Line 9. Tanya, line 9.
Oh, okay.
Line 9, get driver. After get driver, you need to put additional set of parentheses after get driver.
Like this one? Or
Parentheses это скобки.
О.
Скобки.
Вот так? Так они добавлены.
Какую скобку?
Хорошо. Точка.
Get.
Okay. Just get the string.
Just get.
Okay.
Now you're.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, guys.
Is it running?
Just a sec. I will check. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now let's add, guys, a couple of more cases, right? Case Yahoo. And now so you see, test context, get driver. Sometimes you want to be able to make your script shorter, right? And in this case, you need to add some static methods to your script. So instead of using the complete expression, you can use get driver, and it will be red. And you see, if you click on option enter, and if you are Windows users, you will click on alt enter, it will be added as import static support test context get driver. And from now on, you don't have to use this complete text. Test context, get driver. And this will be not needed now.
Galina, could you repeat this last 30 seconds?
So I want to make my script shorter. I don't want to use the entire path, right, to this method. Text, context, get driver, and so on and so forth. So I am using this get driver. So I will delete this one. And it cannot resolve now, right? But if I use option enter, it will import static method from text, context, get driver.
Galina, when I start typing get without test context, it doesn't give me an option.
Would you share your screen?
Sure.
Okay.
So I wanted to do the same thing you just did,
Okay,
and
but you need to type get driver and put parentheses. Get driver, driver uppercase, driver, dot, parentheses, скобочки, скобочки, до точки, скобочки. Okay. And because you have already have this get driver, right? Imported.
I guess when I was practicing.
Not in this one. We are working with import support text context, right? Okay.
Okay.
Get driver to get, and you provide the URL for Yahoo.
Okay. Thank
That
you.
will be great.
Galina, may I share my screen?
Yes.
So,
You have import text context. Now you need to add, click on this bulb. No. Click on get driver. Get driver. Get driver. Also not this one.
this one?
Show context actions. Click on that. And import static method support. Okay. And now you will be able to shorten your text, right? It will be just get driver. Get URL. Okay. So you can either use text context everywhere and you will have to type it, or you will start working with get driver, and it is more convenient, right? If you want to reuse it.
So, Galina, at the top we have some lines. Import
Right.
cucumber.
Some of them are imported automatically and Maven does it for us, but static methods you will have to import.
What do these lines stand for?
We need some specific libraries, right, in our Java code. And when we start using given, Selenium needs those, right? Java code needs some of the Cucumber libraries and some of the Selenium libraries. So Maven, right, as the project management tool, will support all necessary things. But if we want to make our code shorter, we want static method. And we add this static method in our imports. That's it. And
Can we delete line 4?
Say again.
Can we delete that line 4, which is gray on his screen?
Yeah, you can delete it. It means when it is grayed out, it is unused import that you need to delete. Line 4, Andrei. Okay.
Galina, I still have it in red now.
Then it is not good. Okay. Alicia.
Sorry, guys.
No problem. I have read too.
Okay, then click on that bulb and click or press Option Enter. Click or press Option Enter and select Import Static Method.
But you said it was already up there.
It was not up there. And select the text context get driver method. Okay. In the new file, right? When you did not use this import static method first, right? It will be able to use just the option enter, and it will be supported into your imports automatically by those.
Okay, I guess it happened when I was practicing in this file, right? In this code.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
By the way, what did you practice with again? Did you create two methods?
No, I was just watching, when I was watching Slava's videos, I was repeating after him.
Probably what happened here.
Yeah.
May I do the next for the share?
Sure. Okay, you have text context get. Delete text context and leave just the get driver.
And I'm not sure about what you said about
Точку удалите тоже.
the run.
Точку. И теперь нажмите на этот bulb and import static method and select text context.
Text context.
Да. Because this get driver method is declared in our text context file. That's it. And you have line 4 for import static support test case.
Вот здесь в углу что-то вы говорили, я так понял.
Support space definitions.
Как?
Space. After support you use space and write definitions.
Definitions. Ага,
Okay.
понял.
Okay. Is it correct spelling definitions? Definitions.
Через пробел, да? Space. Support space.
Пробел. Правильный этот spelling of definitions. Click OK. And run. Run from your WerbDriver. Okay. You navigate to URL. Why? Подождите. Что значит navigate to URL? Why it is in the angular brackets?
Which one?
It should have quotes and Google.
Quotes in Google, okay.
Ну правильно. Ну URL Google, case Google. Go back. Navigate to Google in quotes. Нет. Уже здесь мы не ставим ничего. Мы пишем только наименование URL, который вы хотите пойти, но не exact URL. Это было у нас predefined steps, Михаил.
Просто Google напиши.
Напишите Google в кавычках, двойных кавычках. Вы уберите angular brackets, пожалуйста. Слово Google. Только одно слово Google.
Просто Google.
Потому что у нас кейс string Google. .com тоже не нужно. Вы указываете полный URL в вашем Java StepDefinitions файл. Теперь перенеситесь туда, куда нам надо. Как мы переносимся? Какие шорткаты у нас есть для этого?
Пока не знаю.
Как же мы не знаем? Мы нажимаем на команд и левая кнопка мыши. Вернитесь, пожалуйста, в WerbDriver feature. Нажмите на команд кнопку.
Так.
Navigate. Mouse over your line 6.
Line 6.
Mouse over. Окей. И теперь нажмите левую кнопку мыши. Вот. Вот так надо переходить из feature файл. Никаким другим образом. Okay. Now you have one more mistake and your test will not be running because you have an error in your steps. You need to provide some string in get for Yahoo. You see Yahoo. Now put http yahoo.com inside the parentheses. Скопируйте http Google и поменяйте Google на Yahoo. Okay? Instead of Google, you will put Yahoo. Отлично. Now run it. Go back to your WerbDriver feature. Double click and run. Что опять не так?
Cucumber runtime. Use deprecated reflections to load object factory.
Вы hooks uncomment сделали?
Вряд ли.
Сделали. Еще раз run edit configurations. Давайте посмотрим.
А что нам hooks дает? What's the main idea of the hooks?
Oops. Support definitions. Click OK again. Hooks открывает и закрывает нам браузер. And run one more time.
Scenario outline. Just delete outline.
Ошибка, конечно. Зачем снова outline?
Write outline?
У вас так мелко, что я не вижу даже подчеркивания красным. Окей, one more time. Okay. Now we're good.
Спасибо.
Okay. Now we need to continue. Okay. Okay. So we are finished with this, and now I will add one more option here, Yahoo. And we also need to provide some default, right, value. And it will be...
Galina, excuse me, is this indentation important? Like we write default?
You definitely have to follow. It is done automatically, right? And if you have some misalignment, you know what to do. You go to code, reformat code, and use the shortcut to reformat code. And again, guys, I prepared this slides for useful.
When I click, I apologize. When I click enter after break, it's just go another line, but right behind on the break, not 4 spaces on the left.
So you will be able to reformat code, go to code, right?
Okay. Yes.
Reformat code. And it will be doing for you.
It's again right below, not on the case, but on the break.
Okay, let's see. It is not important right now, but if you use those options, you will be able to reformat the code. You will be able to do the indentation or the entire file. Dmitry, I'm waiting for you to share.
Okay, I thought that you say it's not important, so okay.
I don't see.
Okay, here is my screen. Can you see?
Yes.
Yeah. So when I press enter, it's just go right below, but we need to go like that.
Right.
Correct.
Correct.
So we're going on code. We are going to reformat code, and I already did it, and now go back, and now it's the same.
Okay, start typing something. No, but meaningful something.
Okay.
Default, like, for example, default.
Default. Okay.
Select this default. And after that, default двоеточие.
Двоеточие. Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Okay, got
And
it.
if you and if you still have some misalignment, indentation is not good, you will be able to use some shortcuts to fix it. I will show you next time.
So it won't work if my case, for example, written on this place. It must be on the same line, like
Yes.
that?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
So we've done this. So it will be something like this. One second. This site is not supported. Okay, so we created our first step and we made our code reusable for at least 2. And we always can update our method here. We will be able to add more sites and it will be accessible, right? So this is important for your first step. You just need to add more and more options, adding more cases with the name of the site, okay? Now, we can create a new step. Then, okay, I print page details. And we don't have such a step yet. We will add it to our step definition, WerbDriver definitions. And in this step, we can instruct get the driver to print out the page title, right? But if we want to print out something, right, we definitely need to instruct Selenium to print out something. How do we do this? Print out. S-O-U-T, right? Print ln. And inside here we ask driver, get driver, and since we have already initiated this one, it will be recognizable as our method. Get driver, get title. Okay? And one more page detail that we can print out. SOUT, get driver, get current URL, right? Get current URL. And this is the method that is provided by the Selenium library, right? As our methods. Okay. And we can also print out window handle, get driver, get window handle. And what is a window handle?
That's what I wanted to ask you.
Okay, you know that the browser has this unique ID, right? For that we will be using to switch between the windows, right? The tabs, or between the iframes. So this will be a unique ID of the browser. So let's run it.
This window handle and window handles. So we take a handle.
We have several window handles, right? But we are going to select just one window handle.
Can we run it?
Yeah, and when we run it, we get the page title, printed out the current URL, and the window handle.
Galina, and the reason why my step then I print page details is not highlighted by the bulb can be why? Because I created it before?
I don't get your question, Alisa.
So when I was writing then I print page details, I didn't get the bulb.
Did you already create this page details?
Well, the only thing I create, I got to Google page and print details. Is that the same thing?
Do you have the code behind your steps previously created?
The previous code, no command.
You need to change to check if you are using the one that you have created, or you have created just now with us. I don't know.
No, I just created get driver, get google.com, and then I just printed, wrote system out println, but I didn't write anything there.
Therefore, it doesn't print anything. You definitely have to provide. It was probably recognized when you created the step, but you didn't provide any code behind it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Add some steps, get driver, first of all, system print out, and then the same as we did.
No, but should I delete the system out println from the previous code? So I want to repeat after you now.
Alyssa, just change one letter in your code. In line 7, just change I print page detail, not details. So it's not going to be like same. And it's going to work for you.
Let me check.
Just change wording and it's going to work.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Galina, please repeat what is window handle, because I was focusing on
unique ID of your window, and we can have one window open, right? Here I have several, or we can have several windows. We can have several tabs, right? And every will have its unique ID. And if you want to switch from one window to another window, then you will have to use that window handle.
Mm-hmm. Got you, thank you.
Or test automation.
And is it unique, or it's every time changed?
It is unique for your session.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Elena, I'm keen of silly questions today. By getting driver, are we allowed to request different kind of information, or are we limited? Like in all, I just want to catch logic. Like for example, all my next steps, I can request from WerbDriver different kind of information.
What kind of information you are interested in?
I don't know. For example, some kind of picture on a page, or I'm looking for some number. Can I like manage it?
Absolutely, guys. Let's do step by step. So far, we are working with just page details. Later on, we will be verifying the text, whether this element is displayed, whether it is enabled. Absolutely, everything is possible. Okay, now we created 2 steps, right? Good for us. And now we can reuse them already, right? If I now type and I navigate to Yahoo. Yahoo. Oh my gosh. Yahoo. And Yahoo is supposed to be lowercase, right? Because we defined it in our case. It's supposed to be Yahoo, lowercase. And then I can reuse this, then I print page details for Yahoo. Then I print page details. And if I run it now, it's a longer test, right? And I have what's wrong with this Yahoo? I closed it, right? And now it is printing the title, which is long, right? The current URL, and another, since we are working in one and the same browser window, right? We have one and the same window handle. We open it in the same window, yeah?
Could you go back to the code, please?
Which one?
The Google, like print page details. Okay, thank you.
Galina, short question about that part in which was programmed already with Alexei. So all these commands that we have in our WerbDriver feature we create right now. But when we started to work with it was already some commands. Are they all created by Alexei?
Who is Alexei?
Oh, no, not Alexei. What's his name? The question is, when we start to work with WerbDriver, any predefined commands before, or we have to write all these commands from the scratch? Like I open URL, for example, so we write a code for all of that commands, so there are some already patterns prepared before.
Okay, so I will reiterate, those predefined steps were created specifically for learning purposes, so that at the beginning, when you're not familiar with the Cucumber syntax, right, when you're not able to write the Java code, but you have to practice with XPath expressions. So in this predefined feature, right, we were entering everything in your steps. Complete URL, complete XPath expressions. So everything was here in your steps, which is not the case. You need to make your step definition in real life, right? Having just the variables, not the exact values. And those expressions and URLs, right, will be inside your step definitions.
Oh God, yeah, that is not my question. Like this, for example, given I open URL, so that was prepared for.
That was created by Slava.
Okay, and if it's not Slava, are there any snippets prepared?
No.
So there are zero. We need to write a code for all commands. There are zero created commands, right?
Yes.
Okay, that was my question.
When you come to the company, right? And you will be using the framework and you will be adding some new files, right, on your specific functionality. The project will be already there and you will follow the structure of this project. And once you start typing your own code, all the steps that were created previously will be seen.
Okay, because I thought maybe it was kind of snippets already prepared, like for every...
No. You will have to work with your own code based on your knowledge of Cucumber, Java, and whatever, and Selenium methods.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Cucumber is only for Java or Cucumber is for other languages as well?
For other languages as well. Okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Good. So, finally, before we finish, we still are using already existing. So when I print page details, right, I can probably use some other. Get driver. Oh my gosh. Get driver. Get. We can get window handles. We can get page source. We can get class, right? But it is not recommended to get page source for Yahoo or Google, right? You will get like a lot of kilobytes in your code. We probably don't want that, right? To get the page source. Therefore, we will not be using this one, but we can, in our next step, we can work with some of built-in Selenium methods. So then I print page details and okay, I go back, forward, and refresh. Refresh the page. So again, we don't have such a step yet. And I will create a new step. And here we don't have to type anything, right? We will just use get driver. And again, we need to go to our cheat sheet. How do we go back, forward, and refresh? We first have to navigate, right? And then to use this back, forward, and refresh. So get driver, navigate, back, get driver, navigate, forward, and get driver, and refresh. Okay, and if we run it, we will see that it will be
I don't know why, but in my case, get driver is on red color.
Okay, so everything passed. What is wrong?
In my case, get driver is written in red color. Is it okay? Or is something wrong?
Did you update your import for static? Import static support context.
Wait a second. I saved it in the wrong place. I put it on. Okay, I just need my fault.
So you always have to navigate, right, from one. You probably saved it in the wrong file, right?
Yeah, in the wrong file. I saved it in Java StepDefs.
Right. Okay.
And okay, now, so what? How to fix this?
What to fix?
Okay, I just need to start from the start, right? So I need to Java's WerbDriver step definition. Okay, and could you open the code, please?
Guys, it is obvious that we will not be able to finish early today, guys. We will probably have to stay longer because we had that heated discussions on the interview questions. And I want to complete at least one more test scenario before we finish.
Galin, it's me, and again, my light bulb. And I don't have this step before, but it's not showing up, the light bulb. And I tried to change the letters, like Irina suggested that worked previously, but now it's not working.
Would you share?
Sure. Thank you.
Okay, can you show me your first scenario? I got to Google page and print details. Okay, well, I go back, forward, and refresh the page. So, what's wrong with that? It's working as expected, I guess.
Yeah, but I don't see the light bulb here. So I can create the steps for it.
But it is already created.
So I just add it to the to this code?
One second. If it is not highlighted, it means that it has been created. Right click, not right click, command, mouse over on this. Mouse over.
I am doing this right now.
Одновременно клавиша command and mouse over.
Yes, I am doing it right now.
No, because
command. I'm pressing command, and it's not showing up. I can't go to the code.
Okay.
I can go to this code.
Удалите тогда его и снова напишите. I go back, forward, and refresh. Странно. Постарайтесь тогда удалить слово page. Почему оно не...
I changed to site and still didn't work.
Did you write code?
How about configuration? Did you change something there?
What kind of...
Run scenario and configuration.
Please show us your previous scenarios where you was practicing.
Modify run configuration.
Sorry guys, can you speak one at a time?
No, if it is new text.
Huh?
If it is the new step, it's supposed to be highlighted.
Right. That's my question.
If it is defined, then it's supposed to be navigatable between the feature file and this Java WerbDriver step definition.
Did you do changes on WerbDriver step definitions, Alisa?
Yeah. What else do you have there?
Nothing else.
Up.
Oh, here? Whatever we did.
Then you have it someplace in some other file then.
No, definitely not.
Okay.
That's all I have here.
Can you change the wording of that, of the WerbDriver? And я не понимаю.
Should I check my configurations? No?
What kind of configuration?
Where we checked for support and definitions, or it doesn't matter now?
It is running. Edit configurations is working fine. You see that? No. Refresh the page. Can you change the side for page?
Can I what?
The wording. Can you change the wording of line 14?
Can I, should I just delete maybe a letter?
No, it's not going to be. It doesn't recognize it as the new step.
All right, let's move on to the next task that you wanted to show us, and then
What
I'll
if
come
you're
back to
gonna change N on Zen? Maybe it's gonna work.
It doesn't matter. It is.
Let me try.
Yeah. I'm afraid that we have this problem that it is not working for you only with coverage. Something is not good, Alisa.
Okay.
Let's take it offline, okay?
Sure, thank you.
And you don't have to thank me now, because I didn't resolve it yet. Okay, now we need to create a new scenario, guys, right? And we will go to our page, markets. Let's open our market page, get a quote market page, and we will verify the email field. But we will have to add one more case to our switch, right? So here we will add one more case. Case quote. And it will be get driver, get market, and then break. And now we will create a new
Galina, if it's possible to go back too fast with the code, please. Yeah, just give me a minute, please.
Can I move on?
30 секунд, пожалуйста. Yeah, I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, so it will be our web driver 2, and scenario name will be quote email field verification. And we already created our step. Given I navigate to quote. And we created already a scenario in our Cucumber, right? Feature. This is input. Do we have email? I don't have email. But you have, right? You were supposed to have it. So what shall we start with? I will first type an incorrect email into this email field, right? When I type, so we have this step that was predefined for us, but we will put something like incorrect email into email field. And this step is not defined yet, right? And we will create a step in our WerbDriver step definition. So what will be the good variable name for us if we are working with email?
Email.
Email.
Okay. And then we will write the code. We need to type. So what is this? What is the path for that? Get driver, find element by using some ID, some locator, and then
Some keys.
some keys. Okay, so let's do it. Get driver, find element is here, and we can select by. By, we start typing the word by, which is also a method, right? And we can select by xpath, by ID, by name, by class name, by CSS selector, by link text, by partial link text, by tag name. Those are all supported by Selenium, those locators. So what will be our choice? If we are working,
XPath, since we did it already.
did it already, right? But if you were in the workplace, which one would you do?
Still XPath.
By XPath or by name?
By name. By name works.
By name, right?
What is it? ID, name, and then class, right? The preference.
So let's do it. By name, and we will just put here.
I didn't get this difference. Why by name, but not by expose.
Okay, name will be shorter.
Okay.
Express, definitely we will use it if we have if we have a dynamic ID or we have no other option. But here we have name, and the name is what? What is the name? Email. You just put the name email here. And then what? The next step, according to this, we found the element and then send keys. I type the first letter, then I autocomplete, and I provide my variable name, email.
I don't know why, but in my case, by is on red color.
Sure.
here is.
Okay, find element, delete everything and do it one more time.
Everything?
Yeah. No. Starting from find element. Type by and select by name. Scroll down and find this by name. By name. And put the value of the name inside the quotes. Then send keys. Not here. No. After those. After.
After what?
После последней скобки. Вы
Понял.
It's double quotes, right? Send keys.
Galina, what is send keys?
Send keys is the WerbDriver method to provide some input, some text input.
Okay, thank you.
То, что у нас email там с большой буквы написано, а здесь маленькое, не имеет значения?
Where do we have email с большой и маленькой?
Here.
This is the... What is this?
Label.
This is a different element. Definitely have to inspect the input field. Inspect it. And find
С маленькой должно быть. Вот.
That's what we mean.
Okay. So what else to write?
Here you write the name of your variable. What is it? Email. That's it.
That's it. Okay, thank you.
Okay, now we can go back to here and we will provide some wait time.
Show screen, please.
I wait. I'm sorry. And I wait for 1 second so that we can stop and see how it works. Okay, this is a new scenario that I didn't run yet. Then I have to run it from here. Okay, so we see that this was written. This text was written. Okay. What is the next step? When we provide the incorrect input. If we type something incorrect, we don't get any result, right? We definitely need to submit form, right? So we will create a new step and we call it submit the form. When I type and I submit the form, we need to create a step for that. And by doing that, I mean that I will click the submit button. Let's inspect the submit button again. And it is ID form submit or name form submit. So we definitely will go with this stable, reliable ID, right? Okay. So we will write the following step. Get driver, find element by ID, and it is form submit. Okay, and add it here, and then I will have to. I found it, I will have to click on that element, right? So
чуть-чуть, как там написано, form или from submit, как там?
Form submit, you need and copy. Don't.
Мы не успеваем же, просто не успеваем.
If you make spelling mistake, it will fail. Okay, so we have to click, and again, it is found. This method, Selenium WerbDriver method, is found for us.
Okay, it works.
Now, when we submit the form, we need to check for some error messages, right? So, we need to identify the email ID, email error, right? So again, ID will be perfect. And we can say that the error message should be displayed. Okay, let's do it. And it will be our result, right? Then email error message. Is displayed. Okay, this where we come for the results assertion, right? So assertion requires a new library that we need to add to our file. And again, it will be our static method. So let me show you how to add it. So we will be using method assert that. I start typing assert that. And it is not recognized yet, right? So I will click on this valve and I will import static method. And you remember that in our home.xml, we have this dependency. Let me show you. Assert. Okay, I can always use this Control F and assert. Assert J core. So we need to select this option here. So assert that. Import static method. Assertions. Assert that. Assert J core. I will select this and it will be added to our imports, right? And I will be able to use it in this file. When you create a new Java file, don't forget to add this assertion there as well. Okay.
Yeah, I apologize. It's open my menu. Method to import. What to choose?
You select static method. Import static method. And you select assert J core library.
It's disappear now. Can I share my screen?
Yes. Click on the valve. Import
static.
And select assertion. Assert that.
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you.
Okay, and assertions goes inside the parentheses because this is our method, right? So we assert that some element, right, identified by our getDriver find element should be displayed, okay? getDriver find element by ID, and it is email error, right? Email error. No, it is here. Is displayed. So mind opening and closing parenthesis, right? By ID is displayed. And then we need to add that it is true. Is true.
I don't know somehow, but now it doesn't help me with... не помогает прописывать по умолчанию. Вот find element нужно писать полностью. Do you know why?
So you need to put getDriver inside the parenthesis of assert that function. Вы пишете этот getDriver внутри функции assert that. Еще раз показываем. Медленно и печально.
Да, лучше помедленнее, потому что очень быстро.
Смотрите, вот она у нас, эта функция. Она пока красненькая, потому что мы еще ее не закончили. Assert that. getDriver. Жду, пока закончится. Find element. Внутри пишу by ID.
Угу. Да, не там прописано. Понял.
Email error. Беру точный текст из elements. Okay? Добавляю его сюда. Но это конец нашей функции, да? Но мы должны из displayed выбрать здесь. А после мы должны сказать, что это правильное. That this assertion is true. That's it.
Сейчас is displayed. Один момент, секундочку. Ага, в конце. Is true. Is true. Все. Всем спасибо, все свободны. Хорошо.
We get successful result.
Меня нет. В этот раз. Можно показать, в чем ошибка сейчас?
Yeah.
Вот мой этот assert, getDriver, find element.
Just close it. It's open.
Missing closing curly brace. Видите, подчеркнуто внизу на строчке 6.
Да, да.
Если вы туда навигейт с левой стороны, черточка с правой стороны, совсем с краю, она вам скажет, в чем ошибка. Нет.
Какая черточка, где?
С правой стороны у вас, с правой, вот нажмите, видите? Она вам говорит, что вам нужно добавить. Еще одну фигурную скобку.
Здесь же?
Здесь же. Или вы можете ее сделать индент, как угодно.
Угу. Хорошо. И сейчас пройдет.
Если у вас хоть один из файлов подчеркнут красным в вашем Project Structure или где-то еще, значит, у вас есть синтаксическая ошибка. Пойдите и вам покажут, где она находится, и даже подскажут, как ее можно исправить.
Спасибо.
Отлично. Guys, are we all on the same page?
Yes.
And finally, we also can verify the text that is displayed of the error message, right? Then, how shall we? Okay, message or error message. It is up to you how you will formulate your step, right? But the text will be taken from here. Please enter a valid email address. You can take it from here or from here. Message is displayed. So it's again a different step. Here we are verifying the text of this message. And this method has an argument. And what is the variable name for this argument?
Message.
Message, right. Let's do it message. Oh. Once you didn't use it, it is grayed out. Once you use it in your code, it will be same color as the rest of the text. Okay, so this is our expected message, right? You can say expected message. Expected message. But we will get the actual message from the page. And we're going to compare those two strings. So for the actual message, we need to create a new variable and declare the data type. What is the data type?
String.
String. Actual message. This is the name of our new variable, actual message. And it will be equal to what we will see, what we will get from the page, right? How shall we identify it?
WerbDriver.
Driver. Find element by ID, email error. This is our value of ID. Get text.
Сейчас вот здесь задержитесь, пожалуйста, на 30 секунд.
Okay, if you want to debug, right, or if you want to check what kind of message is actually brought from the page, right, you can always now to print it out in your results. It's kind of intermediary, right? System out print actual message. And if I run it now,
Работает.
it will print out the error message, right? Or we can definitely do the assertion so that we will get the test results, pass or fail, right? Let's do it. Again, we will use the assert that, actual message, equals to expected message. And we need to make that it is true. And if it is not correct, right, then your test will fail. You definitely have to, not only to do the steps, right, to do assertions. In your then results. When you do given and, you probably don't do assertions, but when you have then you need to add some assertions in this step.
Could you please clarify the difference between then and, because it's a little bit confusing?
Then anyone can clarify it?
Then is about the result, and end is about any previous step when the next step is the same as the previous step.
That's true. So we use those keywords to organize our scenarios, right? So that they are readable, and we put some logic. So given is kind of a precondition. When we create do some action, we click on the button, we input some text. Then if we have several sequential actions, we can use this end, right? But the result, the outcome of your test will definitely have the keyword then. And if you have then, you probably will add some assertion.
I just asked not correctly. I mean between when and then. Between when and then.
When is the action, and the sequential action. You have several actions in your step. Not in your step, but in your scenario, you have some similar steps.
And after that, then, it's again the same action on the same step, right?
It's probably another action, but it doesn't have any output.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
All right, now we will verify, running it for the last time. And it is correct. So guys, you will continue working with the scenario, right? To do some other verification, right? So you already created your Cucumber scenarios. Now you can write your own scenarios in WerbDriver to test this quote page. But guys from school program, did you do this in class already? Did you have all those scenarios in your previous project?
Honestly, Galina, like for me, the things that we are doing now, It was super quick, super fast. It was end of starting. I don't remember the steps. I don't know about guys. I don't remember if we did it. I'm telling you how it is.
I think we did it, but I also vaguely remember the exact details, so it feels like it's almost new, but I definitely remember that we did this.
Yes, didn't, but
put it that way.
Yes, Irina was right. It's very quickly, and it's the same. I didn't remember.
We didn't stop a lot, like on everything. With you, we understood much more.
Did you do it quickly in school, or I'm rushing now? What do you mean?
No.
In school.
Quickly at school, and it was the end of our course, and we were like super overwhelmed, and it was before finals, so we didn't. I believe that we didn't have time like for ourselves to stop on it, so we even don't remember.
Okay, guys, then I will ask you to go to your Cucumber feature and do write your own steps for all the scenarios that you created using predefined steps, okay? Doing the same thing, but using your own code. This will be your homework.
For the same Cucumber that we did before, right?
Yes.
But we did several scenarios there. Do you mean the one that executes submitting and verifying the form? Which one?
It's like 7 of them, right?
You have different scenarios for username, for password, for email, for submitting the form and verifying the results. And now you will have to use WerbDriver methods. You need to either use different selectors. You definitely can continue practice with XPath. You definitely can use XPath, not only ID, right? And of course, doing some assertions.
So can we use XPath here in the code or not? I didn't get it.
Okay, let me change this ID to XPath. Let me do it. This is the ID for our email error, right? And now I will change it to XPath. So what will be my XPath? It will be label, right? Label. That has ID with email error. Okay, and I definitely can shorten it, maybe. What is this? This one. Okay, still working. So instead of this short, nice ID, right, I will do find element y XPath, and I will include this XPath expression here.
But what is better for this? To use XPath or to use that ID?
Of course, it is better to use as short as possible, right? So if you have the reliable ID, but since we are practicing with XPath, go on and use XPath everywhere.
Okay.
Okay. Good, guys. Please practice with it and convert your Cucumber scenarios, right? So that you will write your own code in our WerbDriver step definitions. This will be your homework. And I'm not going to assign you a new task, because if you are comfortable with working with a new site, then you will be able to work with a new site. So, because forget about this. Just practice with quote page.
Excuse me, Galina. Forget about what?
I I'm not going to assign you new task that I was planning to. Please work with Cucumber scenarios that you have created, right? Those which have the XPath here, but you will create your new steps in WerbDriver.feature, and you will provide your own code in your WerbDriver step definitions for those scenarios that you have already done. Okay?
Can we copy these steps from Cucumber to the WerbDriver?
No, write them. Don't copy.
No. I'm saying like, I'm not gonna copy paste, but can we use the same verbiage?
Right. You will use the same logical verbiage that you type one letter into, but you don't provide the element right here, username. You will just type that you type this value into username field. And this username field will be behind the scenes in your WerbDriver step definitions, where you will put the either XPath or some other Selenium locator. Okay?
Thank you.
I just didn't get. We created now mostly new commands for during this session.
Yes.
But on our Cucumber, we have already predefined commands by Slav.
Now, redefine, right? Перепишите ваш сценарий.
Другими словами, так, чтобы заново нужно было писать код, правильно?
Да.
Вот это я хотел услышать.
Перепишите ваш сценарий так, чтобы вы могли написать свой Java код, и у вас это будет все в вашей WerbDriver feature, и все ваши steps будут вот здесь WerbDriver StepDefinitions. Окей? Это будет ваш homework. И еще у меня к вам просьба. Сейчас я скажу. I created that spreadsheet, guys, and it will be in your resources, and I will send the link to this. It is shareable. You will be able to edit this, right? You will be able to change this. So I was planning that starting tomorrow we will be working with Git on a new project. I hope that it will be possible. Okay? So if you haven't done so, please create your GitHub account and send me your GitHub email or username. And I will send you the invitation to the new project to be able to collaborate on it. Because we need to learn Git commands. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Any more questions before we finish?
I think we need to finish.
Can I have the link after the class?
Yes, I will send you the link, Alyssa, or some other people who will need my help.
Thank you, Irina.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Hi guys.
Recording
Bye.
stopped.
Thank you.